once you put them into a work environment, things start to really unpack. And yes, it will take you 2 hours to have a couple of ideas, maybe. But what's 2 hours, an entire working week, when one of
It's
those
not a
ideas
lot.
can suddenly change your, well, it depends how long you work, doesn't it? But it could suddenly change the profitability of
Yeah.
your company by £1,000 a week. And if it's a big company, tens of thousands a
Yeah.
week.
If you get focused with ideas, it's, I mean, you can actually, sounds a terrible term, calibrate your ideas stream. It can
Yep.
be done with wetted finger in the air sort of numbering. I found in workshops that if we do some exercises to come up with really crazy ideas, you can come up easily with about, say, 50 or 60 in 10 minutes if you want to.
Yeah.
But if you want to whittle those down to something that's worth thinking about, it's a ratio, roughly speaking, of 1 to 10.
I would say, but yeah, 1 in
It's an
10 would be
order
the
of
best.
magnitude. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily 10, but it's of that order.
Yeah.
And then if you want to take something that's really worth pursuing, it's about another order of magnitude ish.
Ish. Yeah. In principle.
So for every sensible idea or idea that's worth investigating, it's of the order of 100 that you need to come up with.
Well, I would say that's worth investigating, you need about 10. To apply, you need 100 because investigating filters
Yeah.
down to. So yeah, you probably need
Indeed.
100
But
ideas to get a real winner.
then if you think about how much time you spend doing that, it's not an awful lot.
No, it
Some
really isn't.
companies may only need, if you're dealing with products and services, some companies may only need, I don't know, 1 or 2 new products per year or per 6-month period. In service industries, you might need more because you're servicing customers and you've got internal products and processes as well.
Yeah,
But it doesn't take a lot.
Nope. And if you structure it so that you go, do you know what? We're going to do this at the beginning of the quarter. Boom. Whatever.
Yeah.
I know team away days have got a really bad reputation. That's because most team away days are done badly. And I have a personal bee in my bonnet here. And I think the reason they're done badly is because it looks like they are easy to do. So you get people going, why should I pay £1,000 for a consultant to come and play some games for a day? Well, that's because the consultant plays the right games in the right way. And you, who don't know what you're talking about, thanks to Dunning-Kruger, think that it is okay to do it in a different way, and you screw everything up, and you've saved £1,000 but wasted everybody's day. That's a personal aside. But if you do one of these away days once a quarter, not only is it good for team morale if you're doing the kind of thing right, but you should be able to come up with that because, and I've forgotten his name, and I am so sorry for this little man in the PSA, Professional Speaking Association, but there is a guy who I've just read some research because of a presentation he did pointing out that pretty much everybody is able to be creative. It's not a special skill. You don't need to be a creative genius because pretty much everybody is a creative genius. What you need is to create these away days or oases within your working week, which allows that creativity to happen. Everybody is born creative. Just look at your average 4-year-old and how many different things can a 4-year-old do with a fork? 1, eat with it. 2, use it as an offensive weapon. 3, use it to dig the garden. 4, in the case of my children, use it to short out the electricity in the house by shoving it in the electric socket. I'm not suggesting that's a good idea, but you get the gist. And on and on and on.
Yeah. That's a good topic for a workshop as well.
What? How many things can you do with a fork?
How many things can you do with a fork?
Or alternatively, well, that's part of one of the formal tests for inventiveness and creativity. Not a fork necessarily, but you give people an object and you go, how many things can you do with it? I thought you meant there for a second. It's an entire business jam on its own. Just exactly how destructive were Simon's children? I thought that was the topic you were going to.
I think a future one could be uses for a fork, and see how many we get.